Hey, happy Sunday night, and welcome back to Let's Talk Marriage.
No, that's not it.
Okay,
That's not it. Every time we come on, it's something different with you. You gotta find your.
Well,
right.
it's a new day.
That's not it.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Marriage.
Now you're trying to be too sexy. I don't like that either.
Well, how am I supposed to be?
You could say it nice.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Marriage.
Yay! Where we do what? We speak marriage through transparency. Thank you guys for tuning back in. What's up, everybody? We miss you guys. We come on just once a week, and we've been missing y'all.
Yeah, this conversation be kind of enlightenment.
It is. It's always enlightening.
Excuse me.
You gotta use your pastor voice. You have to enunciate every single vowel and letter.
But I can't talk like that all the time.
You're too much. You're too much. So we have a treat for you guys today. Please, as you're coming in, make sure that you are tagging at least 3 people. Tag 3 people. Bring them on into the show. Also, while you're tagging the people, please make sure that you're sharing, that you're liking, and put a comment down in the description box, or just put a comment down in the comment section, so that we can respond to you. And even though you may think you have nothing to share, or you think that no one will answer your question, we will try to get to it the best of our ability. Nevertheless, we are also streaming live from YouTube. So if you can't get us on Facebook, you can always send your friends over to YouTube under Ilias and Taisha Carvel. And not only are we streaming from there, we're streaming right here from Facebook Live. And also, we are on what?
Spotify.
And what else?
Oh.
iHeart. And what else?
Oh. Amazon.
So we're on those 3, 4 or 5, however many he just said. We're on those particular sites. So those of you who do not like to actually come all the way in, you can actually go onto these particular platforms, and you can find us there, and you can listen while you're in your car. You can listen while you work, and just go and support us. Go and support. So as you're coming in, I see some of you are coming in. As you're coming in, please tag 3 people. Tag 3 people. And even though the show may not be for you, it might be for someone else. So today, guess what we're talking about?
Let's talk about sex.
You are not going to be on here thirst trapping. We are already together. Stop it.
I got
you. So you better raise that voice up a little bit. So anywho, so we are talking about sex today, but I have a special guest on today. Now, I'm telling you, I've been friends with this young lady since we have been 13 years old. 13, 12, 13. That's over 30 years I've known this woman. We have grown together. And let me tell you why I like her so much, and her family. When we were coming up, this is when I was going through I won't say it was a phase, because you couldn't tell me that I wasn't a lesbian, but I was doing my own thing, running and ripping and ripping and running these streets out here. And her family, they never judged me. You know how, I grew up a preacher's kid, and let me tell you, the church dogged me out so bad. But her mom never, ever, ever, her mom never judged me. She would let her come outside and be my friend. She never judged me. And this is a friendship that you just want to keep just forever and ever. Our kids are, her son and my daughter, they're actually the same age. We were pregnant at the same time and didn't know it. But that's a different, that's a whole different.
Going that route. That's memory lane.
That's memory lane.
We out here talking about.
Talking about sex. But I still have to introduce her so the people can know a little background about her. And then, so we're also bringing on her husband as well. He's in the building now. He doesn't talk too loud. And he'll lie to y'all and tell y'all that I owe him a couple of dollars. Don't believe that. He be lying. Don't let him get on here and lie. Y'all don't listen to none of that. Don't listen to it. But we're going to bring them on. This would be Greg and Teonna Thompson. Give them some hand claps, baby.
Look.
What's up, y'all? See y'all in your place. What's up?
Hey. So I like the little intro, Ilias. I like the intro.
You use this very white voice.
Yeah, that was the Gary White voice.
Yeah, he used a very white voice.
Oh my God! Like he has to stop with this thing. He gets on here every week, and I tell him, nope, that's not it. That's not it. He does this. I'm like, seriously? Can you not eat the mic?
Turn it down.
Oh God. Nevertheless, so we're on here today We're talking about sex, y'all. This is a topic that most people kind of shy away from,
But they ain't scared of.
but they're not scared of. They're not scared of doing it.
Yeah.
But they shy away from the topic. But you know, go ahead, baby.
Yeah, they want to talk about. They want to be grown from stuff, but they don't want to talk about it.
You know, so we're gonna talk about it today, and I think that you are an amazing candidate, not because you know you have sex, but
A lot of people have sex.
but you're married doing
Yes.
it, and we have a little history. But you'll share what you want to share, as
Of
we're
course.
gonna share what we want to share. So we're gonna be as transparent as we can be transparent, without telling too much. Because sometimes people, like I always say, y'all nosy. People nosy. So we don't want to say too much, but we want to help some of the people that are coming in that are single. Why are you laughing, Greg? You want to help some of the people that's single? Stop whispering.
No, let me tell you what. Let me tell you what he whispered to me. Is your mama watching this? It don't matter. We
Yes,
grown.
she probably is. She probably
And
is.
if she
Thank
don't, she
you,
gonna watch the
Brenda
replay.
Lynn Thompson, for being amazing and being on the show. If you're there, Brenda Lynn, please drop a heart or something so we'll know that you're in the building.
You know, people. It's funny if we have this topic coming up because people don't understand how to incorporate sex within their marriage. They feel like it's bam, 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 and they good to go. They don't realize sex is more than just getting in the bed. It's before you get to that bed with the sex woman.
So can y'all talk about it a little bit? What is sex? I wrote that down. I'm going to tell you what we tell our children because they ask, you know, mommy and daddy, what is sex? So we always say sex is good, but it is for mature people who are responsible, who are willing to partake in that. The Bible tells us that it's better to marry than to burn because your body is a living sacrifice. It's funny how we tell our kids that, but we might not have been doing that. So I'll give some scriptures just, you know, for scripture's sake later. But I want to know what y'all version of what is sex.
So it's funny because in our household, we have two boys that live in the house, and so we have four kids total. We are what we call a beautifully blended family, and our oldest is 21. That's our daughter, and then we have three boys, 16, 14, and 12.
Uh-huh.
So at this stage, sex should somewhere have been in the equation, right?
Absolutely.
I am very vocal, very open. I am sometimes to him too open.
Yeah.
But I don't sugarcoat nothing because when
Absolutely.
I grew up, the conversation about sex was like it was so taboo. Like, oh, we don't talk about that. We learned, or I could say I learned about sex through friends who didn't know what they were talking about. Trying to find out, like hindsight looking back, I'm like, ooh, thank God spare my life, Lord,
It
because
wasn't me. I wasn't teaching you about sex.
it wasn't you, it wasn't you, no. But
So, T,
yeah.
what is your so we all call him T. We don't call him Greg. That's his oh gosh, that's his government name, but we call him T. So y'all excuse me if y'all hear me call him T. So T, what is your definition of sex?
Just when you fall in love with someone,
Mm-hmm.
me, like, we're different because I learned it by practicing.
With
That's
who?
that's how I learned about
That's
sex.
why you asked for some mama on this show. Who you practicing with? What you talking about,
Well,
T?
the funny thing about it, he's saying practicing, but I'm gonna be so because we train. Y'all know, for those of you who on here who follow me, y'all know, Lady T, I'm very transparent. I don't sugarcoat anything. When he and I first got together, right? I'm not gonna sit up here and make it seem like I was some holier than thou, Bible pushing, preaching. No. To me, I felt like he was taking a little too long. I'm like, huh,
And
what?
I was raped.
Oh, T, I got to get you off the show.
Excuse me?
I'm gonna mute him. So
No,
okay,
That
so
has
no,
let's
nothing to
no,
do with
I
me.
wasn't.
Jesus.
I
Let's
just
clean this
need
up
to,
a little bit because we
yeah,
got some
yeah,
people that
clean
Please.
it up.
just want to
And
know. Let me help y'all. Let me help my friends out.
that was
Lord
just fun.
Jesus.
That was
Oh
just
my
fun
God.
time.
Let them. Dang, T.
No,
So
I'm gonna be
look.
honest.
No, I didn't. She didn't do that. I was
No,
just
No,
playing.
you missed. That's even worse. So look,
being
let's
honest. Being
Tiana,
honest.
let's clean it up. Let's clean it up a
I'm
little bit.
just gonna clean
So
this all the way up because he done took the thing all the way far right. Honestly, we were close friends. The way we got together, it was so funny because I didn't feel like he was my type, and people who knew me was like, he not your type, and I just looked at him like a friend. You know, we worked together, we grew together as friends. So to me, that's all I saw him as. And then
and how
as
long y'all been
time,
married now? 'Cause I want you to put that out there.
12 years. We've been married
Okay.
12 years. Been
Mhm.
together going on 14. And it's so funny because when we did start dating, in my mind, I'm like, well, dang, he taking a little mighty time to, you know, I was so used to guys being more advanced, more aggressive that way. And I can honestly say what really made me look at him in a different light was he actually courted me. I
Mhm.
had never had anybody court me like him. Like come to my house, take me out. Even before we got married, like he went to my mother and shout out to my mama. He went to her and like actually asked her, "Can I marry your daughter?"
Mhm.
So that just goes to show the caliber of gentleman that he is. So
Yeah.
it's no like hindsight looking back, it's no coincidence why he did take his time. And I'm gonna let him tell you truthfully why he said he took his time. So that's gotta be from him to y'all.
Does he need to be edited? Do I? Am I
Oh,
gonna?
No,
oh,
no, go.
no, I took my time because I wanted to get to know her. That's why I
Right.
took my time. Because when I
Why,
first met her,
why do you think?
I knew she was the one. When I
Why do
first
you
met
think
her,
women? Why do you think women rush though, T?
oh,
I'll tell you my answer later. But why do you think women rush or try to jump your bones? Because you said, the word. Want to be sensitive here.
no,
I know you were
that
just
was,
joking. So people, he
yes,
was
that
just
was
joking.
just
But
joking. That
why
was
do
the
you
wrong
think
choice of
women
words.
rush? Yeah. Why do you think women rush though?
I think they rush because they want to try it before they commit to it.
Hmm. That's a
That's it to
good
me.
response.
That's a good way to put that.
Men,
That's a good way to put
if you're in the building, I need y'all to come in the
that. Yeah,
comment section.
I
Yeah, I
would
want
like
to
to know
see
that this
that.
time. Why do women rush? Because I'm not going to come to
Yeah,
a conclusion. I don't know.
So
that's
Because I
my
know,
opinion.
That's what you think.
That's what I think.
yeah, because I know when we were dating, I would take my time because I want to get to know you honestly, and I want you to get to know me before we go that route.
I think that when men do that, so it's scary because we have gotten so many, what do you call it, counterfeits to come in your life before. We've gotten so many counterfeits, so many people that have just wanted you for your body. My story isn't that I slept with a lot of men. It was women for me. And even still having those counterfeit people come into my life and then having somebody to say, wait a minute, I don't want that just yet. I want to get to know you. I want to know a little bit more about you. I want to take my time with you. That is foreign, especially when you're used to people trying to jump your bones. So we're just like, okay, well, we waited. It's been 6 months, and you're like, we're like 6 months. Like, God dang, we waited 6 months when we're used to doing it. Boom, the very next day. So it's or 2 or 3 days later. I mean, we don't want to give all our stuff away right away, but you know what you want, you know what you like, and then you just do it, right? This is all before marriage. And so as we continue to grow and we learn certain things, now we can, instill these things into our children. But it's kind of, it's hard to kind of wait because, yeah, you want to know. I'm going to say this for myself. I wanted to know what it looked like and if you knew what you were doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it
Don't
does.
be,
It did.
look at
I
him.
think.
Don't put your head to the side.
I think honestly, for me, it wasn't. It wasn't that. It wasn't. I want to know what I'm working with. Honestly, to me, I looked at it, and this is how I've grown as a woman. I equated sex with intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, to be intimate was to have sex because that's what I was so familiar. That was what was familiar to me. When I got with him, he wasn't. It wasn't about sex. Honestly, it wasn't. He really, if he said I'm coming over and I want to cuddle with you, he really cuddle with me. If he said, "Are you hungry? Do you want something to eat?" I'm like, "Okay, I guess we're gonna Netflix and chill." No, he brought a whole family meal over to eat, and so, and that's what. After so many months of this, I'm like, "What is it?" Because where's this? But he actually taught me what intimacy was, and
Now,
I didn't realize it at the time. I didn't realize that that was intimacy. I always equated having sex with intimacy, and
now I
and
wrote some scriptures down here,
uh,
and I don't mean to cut you off. You wanted to complete your statement?
so that was it. That's what I learned over the years, over the 12 years we've been married. To be honest with you, that's what I thought sex was all about. Like just but I realized that it's a whole lot more, of course, to sex than just the act of it.
Absolutely. Intimacy is it means so many. It means so many things, and a lot of men I have seen have fallen short of that, but women have as well because we don't understand the true meaning of what intimacy is. So let me read this, and I found this to be really, really funny because we read the scripture where it says it's better to marry than to burn, but there's a lot of stuff before that. So it's in First Corinthians 6 and 15. And I just had to bring this on for some of my Bible readers. And it says, "Know you not that your bodies are members of Christ? Shall I then take the members of Christ and make them members of a harlot?" This Bible is funny. It says, "God forbid. What? Know you not that he which is joined to a harlot is one body? For two, said he, shall be of one flesh. But he that is joined unto the Lord is one spirit." So 18 says to flee from fornication. Every sin that man does is without the body, but he that committed fornication sins against his own body. So, and then it goes further on to say how you're sinning against God and things like that. So we have people that are in the church and they want to know, can they have sex before marriage? And the answer, even without reading the part in First Corinthians 7, 8 through 9, where it says it's better to marry than to burn, you can see for yourself, even in that alone, that Apostle Paul is saying, no, don't do it. Don't do it. If you can flee from it, if you cannot, if you can, just hold out, then hold out. But if you can't, try and marry that person. Marry that person before you just get to burn. And so a lot of us are just burning and we need to just be married. But is marriage the same as it was back in the day?
The difference.
No, I mean, no, and not only that, I think a lot of being in the church, people have this stigma that, oh, if you're a Christian or you go to church, that you don't have those physical needs, or you don't get aroused or horny, whatever you want to call it, right?
Absolutely.
Like that's a demon, and you got to just pray it off. That's that flesh, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
So what I've learned is, yes, it is better to marry than to burn, without a doubt. But don't marry just
to be married.
to be married to say I'm married to you now. We can have sex, all the sex you want to have. No, like then you'll find yourself saying this ain't even the person that God got for me, and I'm divorced number two, number three, number four, number five because you don't want to burn. You
Yeah.
got to sometimes you got to do not only a heart check but a mind check. Like what are you
Yeah.
doing?
Absolutely.
I've heard what people and the thing is like sometimes the church could be very judgmental when it comes to that, and to each its own. But that word grace, man, because I used to go to church. I dated before my husband. I dated a guy who was heavy into the church, heavy, 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 heavy. We had this conversation, me and him, before, and I said to him, the guy was so like fixated on sin, like. I was like, nah, this dude, I don't know what his. If we kissed, he's like, oh my God, I gotta pray to God, Father God, in Jesus' name, please forgive me of the sin that we just did. I'm like,
He was burning.
was burning, but I ain't want to burn with him, so I had to, I had to exit stage left. But yeah, but no, honestly, like people, that thing is like, and now that we older, we have children, right? we want to raise our kids because I feel the generation before and so forth always want the next generation to be better than we are, right? So we
Absolutely.
want to teach our children, listen, before you lay, look deep before you leap. And it's a reason
Absolutely.
why. It's a reason why.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this. We have a blended family.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes if you learn to close them legs and look deep before you leap, we probably wouldn't have a lot of blended families, but it is what it is. And it
Mm-hmm.
causes less turmoil and less stress. You know what I'm saying?
In the
If
house.
we did, yeah, if we did that. So it's a reason why we tell our kids, don't, have sex before marriage. Try to be with somebody who is going to be respectful of you and what you believe in, that your morals and values are the same. Because if not, then that's how you get all these issues with when you have baby mama drama, baby daddy drama, and you can't blend the family and mix it well because somebody over here mad, and all that happens because of premarital premarital sex. Sometimes you
Yeah,
do
well,
marry.
first, until we get a little older, because now we understand when the parents say, you keep on living, baby. Like I know this. I've been through this. I've touched all these, different things, and you get into some situations, and just like the Bible says, the two flesh become one. You have to be careful who you lay down with,
Yeah.
because if not, what happens is that you end up having a baby, or not that the child isn't the product of the child is the product of your foolishness. The child has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But now they're stuck in the middle of something, or that wasn't that it's something that the man wanted. So now the child feels abandoned.
Yeah.
All these other things that just continue to keep going on, and it's just so much, especially when the child is being raised by two different women, whereas one may think another way and another is thinking another way. So we don't even want to go down that little rabbit trail.
Yeah,
So we're
that's-
going to bring it on.
Yeah. It's kind of important.
Yeah, that's true.
This is talking about parent talk. Exactly on what is sex, how do we form areas in our marriage when it comes to sex. Some people think that, oh, I just get in bed, I'm gonna jump in and that's it, I'm done. No, not realizing it starts once you wake up. Sex begin then. With breakfast, how you serve your breakfast, how you speak to them in the morning. You call out the other day, send out a little text message to each other.
We can't send text messages no
Oh
more.
no, we don't. We don't send text message. But we send, we actually call each other.
Them kids
And,
check them phones.
we send hearts.
You got to send a heart. Nothing else.
But in the midst of it, we learned that, even through my wife, she had to teach me, like I tell a lot of men, you gotta listen to your woman. You think you go, I'm tearing it up.
You ain't tearing up nothing.
Nothing.
Because a woman
Because
can
when
lay
all
down.
down,
Come
you
on.
ask her, did she actually get satisfied? I don't know.
No, I know.
No, but I'm just saying, I don't know about you. I'm just saying.
See how the way you turn it to the left?
To the left, to the left.
So there are some women who have been having sex and making love for years and haven't been sexually satisfied by their spouse.
Because the men.
Where's the collection plate at around here? Woo! And then when you get the one,
then she got to teach you. Because
no. I said then when you get the one that knows, because maybe somebody came before you.
Mm-hmm. And you can't do everything that you learned from your last relationship. You cannot put that, like I said, I was a lesbian before all of this. All of that stuff that I thought that I could do, you can't do that with no man. So those of you who out there who had an alternate lifestyle, you should know there's certain things that you just ain't finna do with a man who really is a true, that's not gonna happen.
A man can't sit there and look at porn all day long and expect to make love to his wife. Ain't gonna happen.
Yes.
So what we expect to happen to his wife, that happen in that porn ain't gonna happen.
But it's funny what you said though, Taisha, when you said that there are women who have been in a relationship for years or months or been having sex and they've never ever really had sex. Like they've never even climaxed. Like they've never even reached that point. And that's what I was saying before. Like when you get with somebody who has taken their time, because see, what one thing that I've learned is that even with sex, with the actual act of it, it's more mental than anything. Listen, I'm giving y'all some free game on this Let's Talk Marriage. I'm giving y'all
They gotta know this. It is
I'm
sex is mental. Sex is not
giving
all
y'all
physical. Sex
some
is mental.
free game. Okay? Free game. It's so mental, and this is why we talk about the text messages, because he and I used to work together, right? And we're not officers no more. But when we've been left Miami Dade County Corrections, but we used to bring our
Listen,
phones.
listen to you, no way.
We used to bring our cell phones in the building, right? And we would text each other throughout the day. What I'm gonna do, when I'm gonna do it, how I'm gonna do it, and it does something to the mental point that your day fly by
Because
so
you're ready to get home.
you're ready to
Mm-hmm.
get home. And that stuff like that is what keeps the your relationship, at a peak. Because I'm gonna say this. It came a time when my husband got sick. Some people who know us, who follow us know, my husband was diagnosed with MS. For a whole year, he was in a wheelchair. So then what do you do then? So that goes back to understanding that sex is more than just the act. It's actually the intimacy,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Because you would probably think, for a whole year, what did you do? I mean, you can't physically do too much. But that's why it's so important that when you get with somebody, and it's so funny because I always tell people, oh, how you know he's the one? And I always say, girl, he the one that if something happened to him, you had to take care of him. You could be faithful to him and him only. And then God, guess what God said? Let me put your money where your mouth is. So we had to experience that. And I think that's one of the things that made us so strong,
Yes.
because through that was at the beginning of our marriage. So just think about it. We got married in what,
2010.
2010, and in 2012, 2 years later, he was diagnosed with MS. So from 12 to 13, back and forth to the hospital, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why marriage has to be more than just sex. It has
Yeah.
to be. Because if you only relying on the the act of it, baby, let me tell you something. You want a wedding, not a marriage. Cause that's what a wedding is, the dress, the pictures, the all that. But in reality, the real deal Holyfield, sex is more than marriage. I mean, more than marriage is more than just sex. Because when you can't, because guess what? The reality is, men, when they get a certain age, certain things start happening to them. Thankfully, thank God we nowhere near that. But I'm just saying, what
Mm-hmm.
happens when that happens? Then what do
Yeah.
you do?
Yeah.
You know, what happens when your wife starts going through menopause and she don't want to be touched, or you know, she have hot flashes? You got women that go through early menopause. Listen, it's no joke. I'm 42, and I'm sharing this with y'all and with everybody on here, that I started going through early menopause, right? And so they said, well, what do you do to offset it? Exercise and dieting and all this and that. But these are conversations that people don't talk about. People really don't talk about it. And so you have to be in a space where you're with your significant other and you're comfortable with speaking about it. You're comfortable with talking about what happens when maybe I can't do certain things anymore. Because if you still, like how you say, keep on living. And so
Absolutely.
it has to be more than just the physical. You know, the smile don't never stay wide, the butt don't never stay big, things change, you know.
What do
So
you?
that's my little
So,
take on it.
so listen, guys. If you have any questions for Greg and Tiana, you can call in at 754-303-9976. And remember that we're here every Sunday night at 8 p.m. on at Let's Talk Marriage. You can also find us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Podcast, and also, I think, what did you say, Google? But we are on Facebook Live and also YouTube Live. You can find us on YouTube under Ilias and Taisha Carvel. So make sure that you guys go there. While you're coming in, I see some of you guys in the background. Go ahead and comment, like, and share, and invite at least 3 people. Invite some people. Come on into the broadcast. Don't be shy. You're not. We're not going to get you. You guys have questions? Ask your questions. This is a good time to ask questions because we're just sitting here just kind of having a general conversations. We talk like this all the time.
Yeah.
But you guys, some of you have questions, and do not call me after the show to ask me those questions. Ask them now because I'm going to spend some time with my husband after this show. Don't call my phone.
Yes, all right.
I'm not
You know,
answering.
when you look at the intimacy of sex, you have to look at everything on throughout the day, like she said at the end, what we text each other. It's the anticipation of when I get home.
Oh yeah, what it's gonna be
what's
like?
going to be like.
Mhm.
That they're hearing that voice on the phone to my or voicemail to my. I can't wait till I can get to that. Also, things that excite the individual. Because 9 times 10, when you get there, you already don't start having sex when you get there. Because while in your mind, you like, I'm gonna touch her behind, I'm gonna tell her
Wait
behind.
a minute on the live.
On the line, hey, we said let's talk marriage. So we gonna
That's
talk.
right. That's right.
Making me blush over here.
People scared to have conversations and not realizing because they're not hearing what their spouse is like. They end up missing the whole deal. I want the whole enchilada, and I need to understand how to please my wife fully to the fact. Well, when I'm able to please her right, that means you're gonna please me all much better, much more better. But
Let me hold your hand a little bit.
no, we
Let me hold your hand. Let me squeeze your hand. Oh man.
we generalize sex as just what it is. And the thing is, what if, like when I got injured in 2011, intimacy was sex was out the we was having no sex at all. No matter what happened, it was not taking place. And the thing is because she loved me enough to have patience with me till I was able to give her what she wanted, but we had to learn how to satisfy each other otherwise. With general conversation, how to hold each other, how to have more intimacy. So it taught us how to have intimacy before we have sex. The intimacy makes sex better. But if you
Oh
don't
yeah.
understand intimacy, you will miss the whole ordeal.
Yeah. And even during that time, like you guys have to be very, 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 very careful because the devil don't play fair. He was working
Ooh.
on my mind. He was working on my mind because there was nothing that we could do. And just like you were saying, Tiana, I equated intimacy with sex. This is still in the beginning of our marriage. I didn't know what to do. I knew I needed to take care of him, but that devil, he'll play tricks on you. And I'm telling you, I was sitting there and I was just like, if you can't do nothing, I can just go and just do something real quick, but I'll be right back. Like that is just devilish. That's crazy. And so
You know what? I'm so glad you brought. I'm so glad you brought that up because we had this conversation some years ago when I was at work about bringing people into your bedroom. See, this people don't want to talk about stuff like that.
Uh-oh. Just bring it
And
on out.
I
Just
was
keep coming in and out the room. Come on.
so I was listening to the conversation. And you know me, I'm a peep. I peep everything. I'm just listening. What you think about that? I said, excuse me. I said, let me tell you something about me. I have the only child syndrome. What does that mean? It's only me and me only. I when you open up that Pandora's box, right? Some people say,
It's
"Oh,
hard to shut.
that's something that you ain't gonna shut." And I learned from other people's mistakes. I'm not one that has to say, "You said that iron was hot, but I want to touch it myself." No, I see you was in Jackson Rider trauma with 3rd-degree burns. I'm gonna take your word for it. So
That's it.
I saw a lot of that, and it's never been me. People say, "Oh, you could do that to spice your marriage up." So let me tell you something. My man wanted a different woman. When I get off this broadcast, I'm taking this wig off. There's somebody up underneath here. Oh, you
Role
want to
play.
you want
That was
somebody
role
with some
play. That's right,
hair?
Tiana.
Not a
You
problem.
want a new woman? You
Listen,
better come on.
cool.
Blondes have more
Mm-hmm.
fun.
They sure do.
You know what I mean?
Say blondes have more fun. What do you
Listen,
think about Greg, uh, porn? Because there are a lot of men who watch porn. Not only are they watching porn, but they masturbate and they do all these things thinking that this is going to not only satisfy them, but that it's something that their woman is into. Now, don't take our word for it. We've been married to the same man for for many, many years, and this is not something that we are into. But these things are out there, they're happening, and we're just giving our point of view. You do not have to take it. You don't have to take it. But we do believe in God. We do have fun. We have fun with each other, just me and my husband, and then they have fun with each other on their own side. But people bring these things into their marriages. They do all sorts of things in the beginning or before they even get married, and they're thinking that these things are okay. In therapy, I always tell people that porno is just, this is something that for me, you got to know who you're going to meet with. I don't believe in porn because that is fake. It's false. It is something that you will never be able to obtain, because most women are not trying to be flipped and turned in those ways.
Yeah.
There are some that can, and there are some that will, but 9 times out of 10, most women that we tired.
Taisha,
Look,
wait. Say that one more time. We what?
we're just tired, Teonna. We're tired. Sometimes we
So
got the
it's so.
kids. Well, let
So
Listen.
him
how
answer
long?
that. Let him answer that though. Let him answer because he
Yeah,
can
no,
be on
I'm gonna let him answer that. I'm gonna let this
he
just
does.
I'm gonna let this man right here go ahead.
And Josh, you are so welcome. You are more than welcome. I got a comment on the side. He said, "Thank you for this. You are welcome." Go ahead. Go ahead, Greg.
With porn, I think when you watch porn, you can't. Those are actors and actresses. They get paid to do that. You can't
That's
do what they're doing
that's
because that's what's the word? That's
It's not real. It's fake.
it's not real. It's fake.
And not
mm-hmm.
When
only
you're in a marriage, intimacy and sex with your wife is real.
yeah.
Not watching a porno
And I'm gonna say this. I say this.
and the time.
Talk about in the beginning of our relationship. Ooh,
Don't tell me I was
I
watching porno.
no.
My friend can't do. My friend,
Listen,
my friend is tired early. She can't do that.
we never
Greg,
had to watch that. But what I'm saying is there was in the trust you
plug
me.
it in.
In the listen, I think he was just so fixated and so infatuated. He used to be like,
No, because
he used to be like,
I was attracted to her.
he used to make
I
it.
still am attracted to her. So it's a turn on.
He used to
Like she
look
would
like I
say
was
stuff
like pork chops.
and
Like,
we would do stuff and it was on a
yeah.
like every day.
But man, and I used to be like, bruh,
I'm tired.
a TV
Leave my
show,
life.
2 TV shows and went on and off. What are you doing? Because to me, in my mind, if you're with me, if we're doing this for this long period of time, I'm not doing something right,
No, that's not it.
baby.
See, yeah, we had a conversation
We
that
had a conversation in the beginning. I
like
was
you
like,
want to
listen,
enjoy your wife,
this
so
ain't the Energizer Bunny.
you want to take your time.
Keep going and
Yes.
going
So
and
you want to
going
enjoy her.
and going
So you don't want it to be like 2-3 minutes.
and going.
All right, we got the people finally not scared to come out. Josh, thank you for asking your question. I hear y'all, Greg and Tiana. Y'all don't go too far back because we are on a live broadcast. I told you, folks nosy. Don't give them too much. Let them stay back because women can be a beast.
What
But
do
let
you
me
say?
bring up. Josh
You said
asked
what
this
about role
question.
playing?
Yes, he said, "What about role playing?"
Oh, so yes, that's something that beginning, middle, and now is very present. People who follow me, they know I
But you
love
ain't
my
hear about
wig.
that wig, Josh. You ain't hear about the wig.
Yes,
Yeah, he ain't hear about the wig. So one thing about me is I've always been one that always change my hair. I will change my hair. I'm very spontaneous, and I think that's something
But
that
that keeps the spice in your marriage.
Yeah.
he like, man, I don't know what I'm
Cause
gonna get.
yes, yesterday she was blonde.
Yeah,
She
Today
was.
yeah.
today is Monica.
Yeah, well, I have Monica on there. Earlier at the church, it was just me. I actually cut all my hair off maybe like 2 weeks ago, so I
Hey,
was bald.
read in between the lines. Monica.
Anyway,
I told you we got
anyhow,
to edit him. We can, y'all,
you
the
gotta
Lord
edit
is
this man out, please,
good.
and thank you.
This is a grown-up
So
show. We
you know,
got this.
But
and,
hey,
but
yeah,
even with
but
that,
we're just talking
but
and
even
we're
with
being transparent.
yeah, and you
So
got to be real. But with that whole role playing, absolutely, like it was times when we both worked in corrections, and we played the role a couple times. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can read between the lines.
Yeah, we
But
got you.
Grown-up.
yeah, but the thing about sex is it's way more than just the physical. Don't get me wrong. When you that's a plus, that's a bonus. That's why even with let's just say social media, right? We know a lot of these men could be very sideways. They'll be in your DM and your inbox, private messaging you, whatever the case may be. And in my mind, I see and I'm like, do you think for 1 second I'm gonna jeopardize anything? I forget anything monetary. Money come and money go. Do you think I'm going to jeopardize what I have with him, what we built together? It's like putting on a pair of jeans that fit you so well. You wear them jeans so much, you don't even need to go. You don't know. Give me them same jeans because you put them on and it just fits so well. Listen, this is my favorite pair of jeans right here. I put them on. It feels good going on. He knows how to hit every curve.
Okay.
I ain't gotta sit here and say stop this, do that. I ain't got. It's like a rhythm, a rhythm. And so in my mind, I say to myself, I don't have to pretend like I'm somebody else that I'm not unless I want to. Monica tonight, but
Look, we're
I
talking
could
all
be.
that, Joe. We're gonna get in the bed and go to sleep.
she could be sweet.
Look, oh, don't even go there. You heard what he said, right? No, did you hear what he said?
He said,
He said she could go to sleep.
listen. So look, so then we talk. Okay, let's talk about that then. Let's talk. So, okay, so Josh, I guess for it depends on your relationship. You can role play. I don't think anything's wrong with it. It doesn't say anything opposite. In the Bible about it. Go ahead, baby.
The thing is what help your marriage to be spicy it is the role play. It is sometimes coming home and slapping her on the butt sometimes.
Oh, don't slap me too hard.
Gently squeeze,
He loves
sometimes, kiss behind the neck or behind the ear, jump in the shower with her, rub her backside, stuff like that. Help keep the spiciness in the marriage.
You're making me blush.
It's not always jumping in inside and just bam, bam, bam. No, you want her to, when you do get there, she's already there. You don't want to work too hard. It's just, come on now. You don't want to sit there and be all day, all night long because eventually somebody got to stop.
So, oh, Jesus. I was like, are we sure?
Hey, let me wait. Let me get my church fan.
Get your fan. So, we want to be very careful with how you're role playing. Also, we know some people that role played and we had to go and pick them up from jail because breaking in the window playing cops and robbers. Like, wait a minute. Keep it in the house. But I think that it's healthy to do these things, It's healthy to
or the mechanic in the garage.
What you say, Greg?
Say the mechanic in the garage.
See, people playing the mechanic in the garage.
Make sure the garage door is closed.
Yeah, please make sure the garage door is closed.
They should have listen. Make sure you close the garage door. Yes, because
and the curtains. Because but that's keeping it spicy. That's keeping your relationship. Talk to your spouse
and lock the doors.
Ask them lock the doors because you got children. Come in. So they ask. You got to ask your spouse, what do you like? What do you want to do? Go ahead, Greg.
No, to Elias. No, you had said earlier about like touch her on the butt and touch her, and kiss her on the neck.
I'm already embarrassed.
Go ahead. I ain't scared. Go ahead.
Hey, you messing up my train of thought, Taisha.
I'm glad.
No,
Go ahead.
no, that's what it is. Like you saying that, like when you go in the kitchen, you touch her or kiss her on the neck or something. What if it leads to something else?
Hey, we gonna go through.
You mean in the kitchen while the kids up? No.
No, no. We gonna slide over to that bedroom quick.
But
I
but
mean,
you
ain't gonna
see,
lie. When we first got
is it
married,
is it intimacy or like
it
how
was
you?
intimacy.
I'm gonna tell you why he's asking that. I'm gonna tell you why he's going there with that. Because Mr. Thompson here doesn't understand that every growth don't gotta be a grind.
Yeah.
Very good, because every growth is
You
not a
know,
grind. So say that you always don't be messy on this show, Greg.
I'm
he,
like,
No,
bruh.
no, no.
He like,
he
oh,
really
but you don't
was.
understand what you do to me, baby. It's been 12 years. I do understand.
Yes,
That's why sometimes when he get the, I'm like, baby, come on, come.
yes. I'm like
but
I tell my wife all the time. When you do certain things and things wake up, we gotta put some.
yeah,
I
that's where I was.
know she
That's where I
felt
was trying to
already.
get. That's what I was trying to get at. But
This
I
was a
want to
show
get.
that I was scared to have, but I'm glad that I'm doing it with y'all because we ain't doing this never no more. But we got to get it out there. We got to get it done.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's where I was. What I was trying to get at.
Oh
Like
yeah. Do you know how many times I heard that? Look what you did. Look what I did.
See,
Shit.
Jesus.
I would have to put
This
a.
is
I would have to
married
put.
folks here. This is
I would
married
have to
people
put.
You know,
talking. Y'all who
I
are
would have to
not
put a. I would have to
married.
put a sheet over my
Tiana,
head.
Tiana, talk to the non-married people. Help the non-married people. Jesus, help
I
us.
don't know. I can't listen. I'm not going to talk to the non-married people and tell them what. Get married.
Tiana ain't great. Can I ask y'all a question?
We on
right.
there on our
No,
show.
no. Let me ask y'all a straight up question. Be honest. How many events y'all missed because of that?
Oh, miss. You know what? Speaking of church, why is it on? It's not okay. Let me not say miss because I don't think we ever missed being late. Too.
We missed
No,
some
we
things.
missed.
Too many. Too many
Well, they told Rick.
to work. Oh my goodness
But
gracious.
now, so
Oh
now,
my.
is that considered? Is that considered? Because there's a healthy amount of sex that you can do. Because you have to have leave time for a woman's monthly and things like that. There is a scripture that says to not do that while
Oh
the
yeah.
woman is during her monthly. We got to have some time. We
We
got to
talking about
have.
the 3 weeks leave that we have before that 1 week.
I know, but you still got to give yourself some time. You got to give your body a break. You need to give your body a
Yes,
break. You
yes,
got to give your body a
yes.
break. So don't just think that people are out here just doing crazy stuff. I think I know you enough to say you give yourself a break.
We
Yeah.
gave some
I give myself a break even when I don't give, even when it ain't that time. I give myself a break. But um,
But
I can honestly
Pastor
say
Taisha, how
You heard
much?
what this crazy man said. They talking
what you
about give you
said.
some beet juice and keep going.
She
Listen,
said what?
I
give him
want the
some.
Lord to come in on this session to shine on us. We might not have been the mature people to do this because we all crazy. We're we
Well,
shouldn't
Listen.
Well,
be friends like
but
this.
You
it's
know what
good.
I?
Yeah,
But you
I'm
nah,
know
like
what?
this
this.
this for this for
I
Taisha.
want to ask this
Like
question too. I want to ask this question too, babe. Though
what?
I want to ask this question. Being married, have you ever or would you ever tell your significant other no?
Yes.
Yeah.
And yes, I mean, within reason, you can't keep saying no all the time, but within reason. After I've dealt with the children,
And
and
I'm gonna tell you.
hold
I'm
on,
gonna tell
let
you
me
why
answer
I
it.
asked
Let
that
me answer
question.
it. Let me answer it. So there are different reasons why to say no. One is my monthly, like, hey, I'm on my monthly. This is not going to happen.
Right.
But when I've dealt with the children all day, I'm using my brain all day. I am physically just drained, or I'm just physically tired. And 9 times out of 10, if I'm saying no, he's saying no too. Like we're just tired, and or mentally drained. But we know that we have to make time to come together. Because the enemy would try to come in with all those little things to try to say, "Oh, you're not doing it." You gotta date each other, so you have to make time for those things. You can't be so busy with the world and other people and not make time for your spouse. So, have I said no? Yes, I've said no a few times, but it's not all the time because I'm strongly attracted to him. So I'm not just walking around saying nope, 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 nope. That's not right. And I want to, like, sometimes I believe that when people say no often, this is just my belief. This is not something, I don't know what ailments other people have, so I don't know. Maybe they're not attracted to that person. I am physically attracted to my husband. So if I'm saying no, I'm just dog tired.
Well,
But if when I'm saying yes, I crave him. I want to be around him. I want to be with him, but I can't all the time.
well, we have to understand.
So it's so funny that you say
You
that.
can't get to him because his voice so deep. Go ahead.
Well, I was saying, I said, understand the person said no. The reason why she or he has said no.
If it's all the time.
If it's all the time, because sometimes, be honest with you. If I'm telling her no, that means I don't work too many hours. I'm tired, you lay down, I'm half asleep, I can't function. Now, if you can get it where you want it, you can have it and take what you want to do with it. But I'm saying no.
We that has happened. And I'm just like, you might be sleepy, but don't look like you is. So
I asked that question. I said that because I don't know if you heard earlier what he said when he said, when you said, "Girl, we talking all that mess. After this, we going to sleep." He said she can go to sleep. I can honestly say, at all this time we've been together, even if I was not talking about on your monthly or, I'm tired, you tired, or one of us is sick. I have never one time told him no. Not once.
And you've never wanted to?
Yeah, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
And so,
Heck yeah.
But it's your body. You have the privilege to. Why do you think you can't say no?
But this is the thing. It's never been to the point where I'm like, oh my God, I just don't, and I don't. It's been times where, and I can only speak for me. When me as a woman, I've gone through stages in my life where your body changes, you get these drives and then you get these lows, right? Now we being transparent on here. At those times where I'm low and I'm like, I just don't listen. It seemed like he be revved up, like a Harley Davidson, like vroom, vroom. And it's so funny because he be like, "Babe, you gotta do nothing.
Just later.
Just later."
Oh my. Oh my.
Now we
I don't
know.
know. I don't know what. See, but let's do this works for them.
Yes.
This works
There
for
you go.
them.
Yes.
Because
This
he knows.
works for them.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you why I say that.
Saying that y'all have to do that.
I'm not saying you have to do that. But what's so funny is he knows. He knows. And you might not think that I know that. I know that you know that
Right.
even though he say just lay, it ain't gonna be that. Cause 5 seconds in, it's like, oh, okay.
Because you want to. I get that. I
But
get that.
yeah. And I think, and it's so funny because, and this is another question too that
No, but
what?
remember you said earlier
What?
you add sex to intimacy.
Yeah.
So when I'm having your mom not on here, right?
If you ask my mom over here one more time, you
Yes,
think
your
how
mama.
you
She's not. I don't see her, but
you
she
think my
can
mama
catch the replay.
think these kids was immaculately conceived? I mean,
Yeah,
conceived.
but let me see it in front of your mom.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know why. What you want? You want to tell me my ear and I say it?
No, but like when you're having sex and you don't want it to end, you want to keep going, and
That's intimacy for you?
no, it's not intimacy, but just enjoy it.
So
You know
it
what I'm
sounds
saying?
like he has a very high sex drive, Teonna, and there's nothing wrong with that if you can match that. There's some men that have,
On
and
my good days. On my good
there's
days,
some men who have high sex drives, and there's some women who. And I'm not saying you can't keep up. I don't know your sex life. What I'm saying is that there's some men who have high sex drive, and there's some women who cannot keep up with that.
Your order need to be changed.
He said they all need to be changed. I'm finna get off this 8:56. I'm ending this early. Something wrong with you today?
Or
You
you
get
need
on this live with T and
he said the oil
y'all,
needs to be
You gotta
changed.
change your
that
oil.
all need to be
Well,
changed.
listen, thank God I ain't have to change my oil yet.
Don't
But hey,
stop bearing down on this table.
But
quick
no,
Jesus.
question about frequency.
Y'all can't
Like
come back
how
now. We just got to talk y'all on the phone. Stop rolling your eyes, T. Stop rolling your eyes.
listen, baby, he's talking about frequency. I be so glad when sometimes I be like, oh, baby, I came my period on. He be like, oh, okay. I be like, thank you, Lord. You know I needed
This
a
is a good question. Look at this
No,
question. Look at
yeah,
this
that's a
question.
great question.
Thank you, Josh, for breaking this foolishness up because I was getting ready to just be blank for a minute. But he says, how often do married couples have sex to avoid cheating?
That is a
I'm so.
part of
Who want to
communication.
who want to answer that first? Who want to answer that
Well,
first?
I will go first on this one here. Then you go next. That is part of communication. That's something that you and the spouse need to have a topic with. Because I know if she don't know what's going on with you, or or you don't know what's going on with her, there's a miscommunication, and that's where you have misfire in the bed.
Hmm.
And we have misfire in the bed. That means somebody is not being pleased. So if you know you have that issue, you need more episode than one. She didn't know it. You need to talk to her, let her know, hey, baby, I got needs. I need to be satisfied. And hopefully she do the same for you too also. 'Cause I know be some days the wife tell me, say, hold on, what is you doing? I know you working, but mama need to be touched.
Now I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, Joshua.
Tell my business. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say this, Joshua. To be honest with you, when it comes to the cheating and how often do you have sex so your person won't cheat, you some women could hang off a chandelier.
Yeah, huh?
Yes.
Some women could hang off a chandelier, do a backflip into a hurdle into a cartwheel, and a man still gonna cheat. So
And
I
vice
don't.
versa. Vice
Yeah,
versa.
and vice versa. So I don't think that has anything to do with stopping a person from cheating. I don't think there's nothing that he can do to me that if I want to cheat, that I'm going to sit and say, "Oh no, I'm not going to cheat," because that is a character flaw. And people will sit here and say, "Oh, you should," the older women, especially the older women back in the day, used to say, "Well, baby, are you feeding him? If you're not feeding him
Oh,
and effing him,
girl,
then
don't start now. Won't be nothing. What
listen.
that say, Tiana?
You
Oh,
got
oh my
if
God,
baby girl, baby, you gotta feed him and
you
F him
ain't
because if
doing
you
it,
not
then
if
sister
you
so and
not
so
doing
gonna
it,
do it.
somebody gonna do it. And baby, let me tell you something. You had women that was cooking, cleaning, catering to you.
And them men still got a whole family somewhere else.
Yeah.
Listen, I heard women say all the time, "I'm catering to him. I did this for him, and I did." They gotta use the hands to be dramatic. I cook, I clean, I this, I that, and guess what? Did it make
Men
them
still
stay?
gone.
It ain't gonna
Yeah.
make them stay. Now I'm not sitting here and saying, because it was so funny because Cardi B said, "I don't cook, I don't clean, but let me show you how I got this ring." And when you look at her Instagram story, her husband Offset said she lying to y'all. She cook and she clean. But
I
I'm
know that.
saying all that because it doesn't matter if a person wants to cheat, they are gonna cheat. Whether
Absolutely.
you been in a 6 month marriage, a 6 day marriage, a 6 year marriage, it's gonna that's a character flaw. So if it's a person that's a cheater, they're gonna cheat. They're gonna cheat. They
There's
gonna
nothing that the only thing that I see that keeps two people because Lord knows that I am not I wasn't used to this. And there was nothing. Tiana is the only person that's on this line that can tell you I've known her for 30 years, for over 30 years. We were 12 years old. We've known each other that long. There was nothing, nobody was going to just keep me. I was in relationship after relationship after relationship. I wasn't going to try to stay tied down. But to be in a marriage, to say that you're going to be with this person, I promise you, it takes God, it takes prayer, it takes being honest. I am honest. He is my best friend. I tell him there's nothing that he doesn't know about me. When I am feeling weak of whatever it doesn't come on now. Like when we first got together, it used to be like that. But now I'm strong enough to defeat certain things myself. But he used to pray with me. He used to
Yes.
talk with me and ask, well, what is it that I can do? And I would tell him sometimes it's nothing that you can do. It's something dealing with, it's within me. I have to work through this. I had to go to counseling and all these things because no matter what relationship you're in, whether it was me with another woman, nobody wants to be cheated on. Unless
Mm-hmm.
that's just something that y'all do. Y'all got sister wives and all this other stuff. Unless that's just something that you do. But because I said yes to this man, I decided within myself that I was going to do everything that I could to make sure that this marriage worked. And I told him everything that I was feeling, why I was, and I'm telling you that devil used to work on me. He used to work on me. And there were opportunities for me to cheat and to do all sorts of things. But why would I do that and leave my children motherless,
Mm-hmm.
confused, abandoned, neglected? So I had to work. I literally had to work on myself and find out what it really was because in all actuality, I was fatherless, I was motherless. All those things I had to contend with, all those abandonment issues and self-sabotaging almost myself because I didn't understand how to have a relationship. I didn't see it. I didn't know how to have it.
Yeah.
I just figure, all right, I'll just let them go and then it'll just work itself out and I'll figure it out. I would have still been miserable had I not stayed and said, let me work on this marriage. Let me tell him what's going on with me. And a lot of times people are afraid to share what's truly happening on the inside of them. And you're afraid to share it because you don't know what the other person is going to think about you. I'm like, I don't care what you think. I need help. I need help because if it ain't you, it's going to be somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I
That's
have to get help for myself. So sometimes counseling is good. And 9 times out of 10, sometimes people don't need to be married. You just get into a relationship because you thought it was good.
Let me tell you what I tell people all the time, Taisha. And I say this in the most realist way possible. It is easier to be single than it is to be married, right?
Mhm.
When you're single, you only worrying about self.
Yourself.
However, the way God made us, it was never made for us to be by ourselves.
Correct.
And so when I understood that this is work. The wedding is the glitz and the glam. The marriage is the real work. You see how you say you had to work on yourself? I always say,
Mhm.
and I always try to. I thank God for the revelation that I got about healing, right? Because when he and I met, there was some healing that I had to take place within myself, and
Mhm.
I didn't need him to heal me. See, people have I always say, oh, I need you to heal me. No, 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 no.
No, no,
What he
no.
did for me in our beginning of our relationship was he allowed me to go through my healing process, and he loved me during I when I did my work.
Mhm.
Because the thing is, it's no, oh, you're my better half. No, baby, I need to be whole. Because God forbid something happen to you, then what am I back half again? So that was a transition even with us within our marriage in the first few years. I always tell people all the time, the first 3 years of our marriage, baby, I talked about we
First
wanted to,
2 years.
man, we wanted a divorce every time you turn around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we didn't know how to, Tiana, we didn't know what we was doing. We knew we was young, had these good looking men. They
I
wanted us,
said,
they pursued
I
us,
want out.
Tiana.
It's easy. It's easy. It's so easy to leave than to stay. It's so much easier to just call it quits. I'm done. I'm done. But one thing, people always say all the time, oh, being married is just a piece of paper. It's just, it's a piece of paper. I even had one time somebody say, that's very egotistical to say you want to be married to somebody because you want rights over them. And I said, money is a piece of paper, but you go out every day and work for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A house, a deed to a home is just a piece of paper, but you go out and you go and buy a house and stuff like that. And so to me, it was deeper than that. It was a bond between he and I, but also God. That's the point. It's a bond
Absolutely.
between he and I, but it's God that's in the middle of it. That not even in the middle, but that's the forefront of it. Because what I started to understand was that this stuff was real work. So when I say it's easier to be single than to be married, it may sound so cliche, but some people do need to be single and get their stuff right. Because if not, you're gonna get in a relationship. That's the boys, babe. You get in a
Okay.
relationship.
He trying to make sure.
Yeah, you're gonna get in a relationship with your step with someone, and then turn around, and next thing you know, it don't work because you don't even see that you done self-sabotage the whole situation.
Hmm.
Yeah,
You
because
haven't healed yourself. You know, a lot of people bond through trauma, right? We'll sit here
Yeah,
and
we
we'll
call
say,
it trauma bonding in the therapeutic realm.
yeah,
Hang on, just one second. Illis, what were you getting ready to say?
no, but what I'm saying is, what I'm about to say is, what people don't understand is when you're in a relationship with somebody else, you have to be able to a point where understand that sex is not the main point of the relationship. Because if sex could have kept my wife, oh man, I bet it would have been much easier. But I had to work on other things, allowing her to go through the process she was going through, but be there enough for her to understand so she know that I was there for her. And as well, I was giving her something that she can get from nobody else.
Yeah, because sex is easy. It's easy for me to
I
just
was
have
giving her
sex.
so much support, so much love, till she would overdose with it. Till she was like, "Hold on, slow down. You give me too much. What am I supposed to do with all this here? Keep it."
Oh, you do.
You know.
Josh has another question. Josh is on fire tonight.
Go ahead, Josh.
You ready to answer that, Teonna?
what is it?
Greg, answer this question.
How often do
Do you
guys
guys
do
go on
date
date
night?
night?
Oh, date nights. Date nights is so important. Um, you want to talk about that? Do you remember when we had our last date night?
It's Thursday.
He don't even remember. All
He said,
I
he
can only
said
imagine what's going on in his mind.
it was last
What you
Thursday.
said, Greg?
Last
It was
Thursday.
last Thursday.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why, because when you have children, right? So this is what I've learned. So many people stay together because of children, right?
Hmm.
We got four total. What happens when those kids get older and now you're empty nesting?
And move out.
Huh?
And now you looking at this person like, dang, what you got gray hair?
Yeah.
Dang, you don't wear bald. Like
Mhm.
these are things that if you don't have that intimate time together, you will find yourself just being like roommates and raising a child. I
Mhm.
made a promise to myself, and I told him this. I said, baby, listen, what you do to get me, I want you to do to keep me. And I make a promise to you that whatever I do to get you, I will do to keep you. I will never put uh, us in a position where it's just raising kids, paying bills. No, 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 no. Pause. Let's go out. Let's debrief. Let's talk about the week, what happened. I want to tell you about my feelings. I want to tell you about my emotions. I want to tell you about, and at that time, phones go away. Ain't nobody talking at that table on a phone. I don't care who. Barack Obama could be calling my phone line. This is me his time because the most important thing about dating is that's how you court. That's how he was heavy.
And
He
and
was when I say he was heavy when he courted me, like at my wedding renewal, we did our wedding renewal in 2015. And my best friend spoke at the wedding and Shonda said, no. Was it Shonda or
yeah, it was
Debbie?
shocking.
Was it no, it was Debbie. My friend Debbie spoke at our wedding and she said, no, I don't know. It was one
It
of
was
them.
shocking.
It was Shonda. She said, I've never seen my friend get courted like he courted her. I've never seen a man take his time and go out with her. And he was intentional. He was so intentional. Let me tell y'all this, and y'all gonna laugh. People at work thought we was related because our last name before we got married was Thompson, right? I was born in Thompson. He was born in Thompson. No relation. He's Jamaican. I'm American. Okay, let's put that out there. And he was training me at work, and people said, "Are y'all related?" He said, "Yeah, that's my cousin." They will go to him and say, "Hey, give her my number." And he'll come to me and be like, "Hey, so and so said he want to holler at you," and I'm like, "No, I'm good." Oh, so and so said, and I'm saying all this because never once did I ever even think he was even interested in me, right? And so let's go back. When we were friends, literally friends, wasn't dating, none of that. He would say to me, I'm gonna come over to your house. And then when we finally did start dating, it was still the same thing. I'm gonna come over. Did you eat? I'm like, no. He's okay. I'm gonna bring some food. He'll bring food. He'll say, you good? You don't need anything? Like he courted me. He would call, hey, let's go out. He made every single day. What days we had off?
Tuesdays,
We had Tuesdays and Wednesdays off.
Tuesday and Wednesday.
He suffocated me so much. I said suffocate, but it was really courting me. Every Tuesday and Wednesday you wanted me, you better find him.
Mm-hmm.
So when we
Exactly.
got married, it was like I dang, I don't want this. It's like a fairy tale. Like, oh my God, like, and I ain't gonna lie, I used to always
Yeah,
self
remember you
sabotage.
used to tell me that
Yeah.
you're waiting for the real me
Yeah,
to
I'm waiting
come.
for your representative to leave. I want to see who the real you is. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I was so used to being with men in my past that argued a lot, right?
Yeah.
And I would pick fights with him, and he won't say nothing. Real cool, calm, and collective. He said to me one day, "It takes two idiots to argue."
That's true.
This is
Calling me an
true.
idiot. Calling me
This
an
is true.
idiot. And so I've overcome a lot. But when I say like he actually courted me, and still to this day, it's still the same thing. Like he'll go out with the boys and come home, I got flowers.
Yeah.
You know, my birthday,
And
he
it's
was
good for your
intentional.
sons to see this
Oh,
That's
as
the biggest
well
part.
on
That's the biggest
exactly
part.
what to
oh,
do
it is.
with
For my birthday, shout out to
Appreciate.
Illy.
Shout out to
Shout
Illy.
out to Illy. So my birthday
and
came.
he is the romance and he's a finesser.
I did a photo shoot for my birthday. All I
Look
knew
with the
was,
massage. Then
yeah,
you came home to a massage.
that's what I'm saying. So I did a
Yeah.
photo shoot. He didn't tell me anything else. All he said was, "What time are you gonna be home?" So I get home, and in the living room, he has a masseuse laid out, and I needed it so bad. Oh my God! I had face full of makeup. The girl was like, "Come in." They got the music playing, the whole ambiance. He leaves, comes back. He got a Chanel bag with my favorite perfume in it. Like he's intentional. He was intentional. Mother's Day, he know I love eating at where
Houston's.
I love Houston's restaurant. My Mother's Day came. It's those type of restaurants. It's hard to get. Reservations, the whole 9 yard. Long story short, intentional. A month before he did the reservation, we had our own little table on the water, and this is things that a lot of people, not only men, but women, we got to be intentional about everything. So intentional about dating, intentional about having sex.
Right.
Sometimes when I be like, I'm a little tired, but
But
I'll
you
be
got
like,
to make
okay,
time for that. You
Yeah.
got to make time for it. You got to make time for it. And this is good when you court you like you said, when the kids get older, you stuck in the house with this person that you don't even know
Because you didn't take the time out to
because you
know 'em.
didn't very good, and so I'm truly blessed to have the husband that I have, and like you said, he showed different men on how to do different things, but before he shows you guys, he has done it already in the home first, and I'm so truly just grateful and thankful. Joshua is on the line again. He said, so do you date nightly, weekly, monthly, or whenever you make time to have it? And like she said, Josh, you have to be intentional with it. So always try to make
You could
time.
do. You could do it. You
Go
could do
ahead,
it
go
monthly,
ahead. Huh?
or you could do it monthly. Like every 2 weeks, you just go on a date with her.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
take
and that
her.
gives
Like
that gives
dropping
the
it.
man
It
time to
could
work
be
and stuff
simple. It
too.
doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a restaurant or nothing. You could just take a ride in the car and just
That's
go
my favorite
somewhere.
thing.
those be the best one. Yeah.
That's my
Yeah,
favorite
just
because
take a
sometimes you
ride
just
in.
want to get away from the kids. I just be wanting to get away. Take me for a
We haven't
ride.
did it. We haven't did sunrise. We used to go. My
Look,
husband
look
know
at
I love the
this.
beach. I
Look
love
at
beach.
this. Look, look, look. We still on live, baby. This we can't make this stuff up. We're still on live. He has never done
Listen,
that.
But let me tell you what happened. His PS4 just went off because I have everything on a time. So when the certain time passed, everything shut off. So it's 9:15. It got to be around 9:15. So he just
Uh-huh.
got real because everything's off now. He want to ask for a little bit more time.
Yeah, so we have the kids on the timer. You can't have that much screen time. So he shuts the house down. So he's like, oh my God, he's never done that in our life before. So
You shut me down, but you still on live. The devil is a liar. Israel said he coming for his time.
He's used to us talking to y'all, so he's just like, oh, it's just Teonna and and Greg. Like, what it's no, we are live. This is a whole thing. He's like, oh God, no, please don't spank me. No, he's not gonna get a spank. But Josh, as often for us, we have kids, and so I do like that. That I like going on the beach, but I like driving by the beach. I don't often like to get out all the time, but driving by the beach and just kind of just taking us a nice little drive, listening to some jazz music and just holding hands and just getting away from the kids for a minute. Sometimes when we leave off of here, we do that. We'll just go for a drive. It's just something just simple because it's late. Things are closed around here, and we just go for a drive. He used to take the pillows. This is when we really didn't have the
You
money.
still bring it up?
Because it meant something to me. You should be thankful that I bring this up. I really enjoy it.
Baby. Those be the
So,
best
but-
ones.
Yes. He used to take the pillows off the couch and then serve me with like strawberries and grapes and all kind of fruit. And we would just sit there and eat and drink wine. And I would be like, this is cute. Until one day, this was years ago he did this. Until one day he tried to do it again. And I was like, nobody don't want that. I had anger issues. I'm throwing stuff. He was like, I never do it again. And he never did it again. He never did it again. So I'm still waiting.
But guess what? You remember them times, right?
Yes, and I missed that. It was so
Because
good.
it was
He does other things
intentional.
now, but that he ain't doing that
That's
no more.
why. He was intentional about what he did and how he did it. Like remember our first apartment the first apartment we had, we ain't hardly had nothing together, child. And he remember calling me Sheridan. He called me to say, call me when you get off the expressway. I said, okay. And I come. I said, he done made spaghetti. He's like, got your favorite ice cream and your favorite movie. Intentional. He had me, girl. He had me.
Absolutely. That's what they do. Now we got our music going because we're getting ready to sign off in a little bit. Now, before we leave, I want you to talk to the people, Teonna, and tell them exactly who you are, what you do for the state of Florida, and how they can contact you.
So I am Teonna. A lot of people call me Lady T. I'm a licensed realtor and I'm also a project manager. And if you want to reach out to me, you can either go on Instagram at I am Teonna Thompson. That's I-A-M, my first name, Teonna Thompson, on Instagram. Or you can reach me at listedbyladyt.com.
Okay, I'm putting your information in the, so it's at I am, and this is on Instagram?
Yes, I am Teonna Thompson.
I am Teonna Thompson. And then on, just to contact you just for regular, just Gmail, it is?
Actually, it's my website. It's listedbyladyt.com.
So www.listed, listed by ladyt.com, correct?
Yes.
All right. I'm just trying to make sure. So Joshua says, thank you, Lady T. He said, thank you. He is newly married, so I'm glad he came on out today. He wasn't scared.
Yeah.
He wasn't scared to come out. Thank you, Josh, for not being scared, because some of your peoples are scared to be on here.
Big deal. People have to understand we gotta have that part. Sex is part of that communication. Intimacy is part of the communication. It helps the marriage be stronger and more powerful where there's no miscommunication between you two at all. Pillow talk helps.
Absolutely.
And sometimes relieving that pressure relieve a lot of different issues y'all think y'all have.
Yeah, absolutely. Greg, if you could lead the people with one thing, what would you leave them with?
Patience.
Smiling. Oh, patience. Look at you, did good.
He rubbed my leg. He rubbed my leg when he said that.
Give me
He
a round of
rubbed my leg
applause.
when he said that. He said patience.
Patience.
What's your plan? You want to have patience tonight?
You stay out of it. Lord have mercy. It's always nice talking to you guys, and I'm glad that you accepted the offer to come and be on the show. Next time I know I need a censor button so I can start censoring Greg.
Yeah.
Woo! He just came out the gate. He came right out the gate.
I forgot we was online.
What you said?
No, my apologies. I forgot we was online.
Yeah,
No, you didn't, because you kept asking about your mother-in-law. No, you didn't. You knew where you were.
Yeah.
He just wanted to let y'all know he loved us.
That's right. Greg said transparency. He gonna keep it all the way 100. If you wasn't ready, and if you didn't know, you know now.
Exactly.
So we want to thank you all. Thank you all to all of our listening viewers and all of our online family. Thank you guys for supporting us every Sunday night at 8 p.m. here on Let's Talk Marriage. Remember, when you come on, tag 3 people. Sometimes this may not be for you, but it's for somebody else.
Amen.
Tag somebody, like it, share it. Don't be stingy. You know, this may be for somebody else, especially in our age group. We don't know. Sometimes we need a little help, and when you guys come on and you ask certain questions, we can share from our knowledge. I mean, we've been married for 15 years. We've been together for 16. We can share from our marriage and the things that we've had to go through. And like you see, Greg and Teonna are on here. They're sharing from their experience of what they've gone through. But just because we share those things here with you guys doesn't mean that you have to take everything for face value. Always remember to keep God ahead of your marriage. Keep him at the head. He is the source of everything. Everything that we do, we keep God at the head because he's the only one that can provide and give us the things that we need. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Would you guys agree?
Amen.
Yeah. So communication is key, like you were saying, baby. Go ahead. Last words.
So what we're going to do is we're going to say thank you, God, for coming. And anything that you want to discuss, please send us an email and let us know, hey, let's talk about this. I want to understand more about this in my marriage. So we can be better and we can be more fundamental for you guys.
That fly still in this house. It only comes out when the lights are on. All right, guys. Are we leaving now?
Yes.
You love them or you love me? Who are you talking about you love? Oh, I know it. You do like it. Oh. All right. Before we get too nasty, because you know this is talk about sex. Y'all be good, Teonna, Greg. Thank you so much for coming. We love y'all. Thank you so much. Hang on the line here for a second. We're gonna go ahead and do our outro, and we'll see you in just 1 second. Do not hang up. God bless you guys.
All right, thank you for